President Putin is not in touch with his population. He can own the media, he can manipulate it all he likes, but people know the consequences of this action are, sadly, but nevertheless the consequence, dead Russian soldiers coming back in body bags. And President Putin knows that. That's why he often deploys them to war with crematorium in a creepy way to try and avoid that. But the mothers in Russia will know what that means. And so those protests are real, they're brave, and I think it's just one of the symptoms for the long term that President Putin thinks he's the great liberator, the great Tsar, but in fact he's a long way away from his own population. We're not going to put British soldiers directly in conflict with Russian soldiers. That would lead to a war across Europe. We are in NATO, and as a result of that, that means NATO needs to reinforce, reassure and contain Russia, but it also means that we have to be very careful there is not an escalation. None of us want a wide war in Europe. We want to help Ukraine. Britain sponsored Ukraine towards NATO all those years ago. Unfortunately, other NATO members were so keen on a timetable like that, but nevertheless, we'll do what we can in Ukraine and we will reinforce our borders to protect us from Putin after this. I think the Prime Minister is keen that the SWIFT system, which is the payment system where, for example, Russia is allowed to get its payment for its gas, that Russia shouldn't be allowed to take advantage of the payment system. It's a bit like if you and I weren't allowed to use Visa cards or debit cards. It's very hard to move in this day and age our money around for paying for goods, and that's the same thing. So we're trying to get that, but it's a multinational arrangement. We have to try and persuade them, and it would be regretful if that didn't happen.